Hello, this is Peter from Chooch. This video specifically will go over the Smart Analytics module of the Chooch AI Vision Studio. This is the interface where we go ahead and review any type of alerts that have been captured and escalated within an environment. We can then go ahead and review, data mine, look at frequencies, trends, things like that. So from our main interface here, we can go ahead and click the drop down here and click Smart Analytics. That will open up a new tab that you will then log in, and you will be presented with the interface we see here on the screen. So the screen itself and the interface itself has 3 tabs, which we'll go through. But the first thing we want to go ahead and address is being able to do a filtering. So what that means is, hey, I want to see all the data that happened last week or last month or a certain period of time. We can go ahead and enter in those dates and also time for a start and stop point. We also have additional presets down here to really dial in how we want to go ahead and see the last hour, last 3 days, things like that. Number 2 we have is the ability to go ahead and filter out what we're looking at. So, hey, if our environment has 5 edge environments between 5 different campuses of schools or offices, or there's multiple drones we're pulling in video from with edge processing, we can go ahead and filter that out, really dial it in here based on edge, stream, zone, events, a lot of different options there. Once we dial in what we're looking for, we can then go ahead and see what's coming up as event or alert rules escalation of what we filtered out. And so we can see here on the information from today, we can see that we have a lot of stalled vehicle instances coming from Highway 50 at Watt. So this is a demo environment. So obviously we're kind of creating some data here in a vacuum, but in a real world that would be more sporadic information coming in based on these rules, depending upon how they're configured. And so once we have that, we can go ahead and filter out and click on these and sort through what we're looking through. And then down here, we're presented with, if it's configured, the images and or video coming from the edge with that alert information. So I can go ahead and click on one of these, and I can see, hey, this vehicle down here is breaking our or triggering our zone idling rule that if anything is idling on the right-hand side of this highway for more than 30 seconds or 10 seconds or however it's configured. And I can see also it's in the zone breakdown. So again, that was what we covered previously in the alert settings interface. And so this video here is a little choppy just so it allows people to really dial in the focus of what we're looking at. And again, the vehicle or the offender that's hitting the alert rules is what's drawn in a red box. Now, as you can see here, we've already watched most of this video. So we're presented with this interface down here on the bottom that you can then provide notes as part of your workflow here. So stalled vehicle detected is actually type is a cop. False, positive. And so though this is a stalled vehicle, it's actually not breaking the rules or triggering the rules. We don't need to do anything additional because it actually is a cop and they're doing their job as part of inspecting traffic there. So is this detection correctly? I would say no. Go ahead and save. So now we can see once we're done saving it, we'll be able to go ahead and see the video come up down here that we've reviewed this and we believe it's not a false positive or it's not deemed additional work needs to be done. And so we can go ahead and ignore that and move on with next steps. The next thing we can do here is look at alert trends from a graphing standpoint. So you can see just typical bar graph frequency. We can see that over time of the different alert types that we have. And so if we had more alerting rules between these different locations, we would see more of a breakdown here. Next up, we can see also over a period of time, hey, what is the frequency that's happening per hour, per minute, per day, however we configure this, and then also with the filtering rules down over here. And then lastly, here at the bottom, we have alert details. So, hey, based on all of the different alerts that have been filtered based on the rules we saw earlier with the filtering, what is the frequency, how many of these videos have been reviewed, and other options like that. And then lastly, under dashboards, here's additional resources that we provide when we look at the video and analyze overall pattern analysis within that. So we can see 2 things here. We see activity heat map, and this may be a great tool for a manufacturing setting or retail where we can see, hey, based on overall activity in the video, where are we seeing the most movement? So this could say, hey, in those different locations, we're using these areas effectively because there's a lot of activity there, or maybe we got to set up better rules from a pattern analysis, and these areas are less active. So again, just being able to provide additional meaning from this unstructured video data. And then lastly, on the right-hand side here, we have common paths. So common paths is, hey, as we watch this video, what are the consistent paths or A to B movement of vehicles, of people, or other objects that we're seeing in this. So again, trying to help provide additional insight on this. So we can see typically we have a lot of video going this way, and they're typically going to the right. If we had another one going the wrong way, which you can actually see up here, then that maybe is needing additional inspection or figuring out what's going on. So again, the tool here for the dashboard interface is providing automated actionable information to help provide more insight of what's going on in the screen as well. Thank you very much.